Hi guys, this is truly scary stuff. So do you remember a few months back when JD Vance, the US Vice President, came to Europe and the UK and complained about a lack of democracy, a lack of free speech on this side of the pond? Then following that, we had people from the Trump administration saying that patriots in Europe, obviously the far right, need to be supported. Well, have a listen to this judge here on French TV talking about how she was intimidated by members of the US Embassy in France when it came to Marine Le Pen's embezzlement trial.
Je voudrais vous raconter ce qui s'est passé dans mon bureau, puisqu'en fait, j'ai eu, à la demande de l'ambassade américaine à Paris, j'ai rencontré 2 émissaires de l'administration Trump qui sont venus. On devait avoir une discussion sur les droits de l'homme, comme j'en ai régulièrement avec des diplomates de pays alliés. Et assez rapidement, la conversation a tourné autour de la situation pénale de Marine Le Pen, avec l'idée de chercher des éléments auprès de moi et peut-être auprès d'autres personnes qu'ils allaient rencontrer, qui pourraient accréditer l'idée qu'il s'agirait d'un procès purement politique pour l'empêcher d'être candidate, et donc dans une action qui aurait comme but de rechercher des éléments avisés d'ingérence. Et j'ai été tellement surprise de cet échange et de la tonalité de cet échange, qui restait très courtois, que j'ai fait quelque chose que je ne fais jamais quand j'ai des échanges avec des diplomates étrangers. J'ai fait une alerte auprès du ministère des Affaires étrangères sur le contenu de cette conversation. Il me semblait que c'était mon devoir de faire cette alerte-là. Et je sais que ça a été pris au sérieux par le ministère des Affaires étrangères.
C'était quand ?
Ça, c'était... on était fin mai, donc c'était le 28 mai 2025. 2 mois plus tard, il y a eu le juge Alexandre de Moraes du Brésil qui a été sous sanction après avoir jugé un proche, voilà, donc un allié de Donald Trump. Et à la fin de l'été, c'était Nicolas Guilloux, le juge de la CPI. Et être sous sanction, ça veut dire quand même que votre nom est associé à une liste de pires terroristes de la planète, de grands narcotrafiquants, et que vous ne pouvez plus vivre normalement puisque énormément de services du quotidien vous sont interdits. Donc c'est extrêmement inquiétant. Donc moi, si je dis ça, c'est juste pour dire... Très bien, il n'y a pas de menace actuelle sur les juges français.
Non, mais c'est ce dont vous parlez quand vous dites qu'il y a de nouvelles formes d'intimidation et qu'il y a un projet politique derrière.
Il y a un projet politique derrière et qu'on doit être vigilant, d'abord sur ce qui se passe en France, bien sûr, mais il faut aussi regarder, prendre la mesure de ce qui se passe aussi à l'échelle du monde, et que cette offensive, elle nous dépasse, elle dépasse le périmètre français, et c'est pour ça que cette vigilance appelle aussi une grande détermination dans la manière de répondre à ces menaces-là.
This is insane. I want to say thank you to Alex Taylor for putting up the English subtitles. So you heard it there. A French judge was visited by members of the US Embassy, suggesting that the trial against Marine Le Pen, which of course was in regards to embezzlement of EU funds, which she was found guilty of, visited the judge and suggested that this was politically motivated. Now, as she pointed out, it's normal for members of embassies to come and meet with judges to discuss issues of human rights. Maybe an individual is being persecuted against their, over their human rights. We're talking about Marine Le Pen here. And you saw also how a judge in another country was sanctioned by the US government, by the Trump administration. This is what they're doing. What they're doing is they're applying pressure, it seems, to the judiciary in other countries, to diplomats in other countries, and to the countries themselves. Donald Trump recently came out and said that he was going to slap a 200% tariff on France because Macron doesn't want to join his board of peace. Trump is acting like a gangster, like a mafia boss. Hey, that's a nice country you have there. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it. And what you need in a situation like this is robust public services. You need a robust administration in Europe to stand up to this, to call it out. And the judge done a wonderful job. She went straight to the Foreign Office in France and explained what was going on. But can you imagine if they had spoken to somebody who was friendly to Le Pen, of course that individual would not have reported this. And we heard recently the Trump administration saying that so-called patriots in Europe need to be supported. Now, Nigel Farage is on the up and up. I think it would be necessary, it would be right for the UK government to do an investigation into Reform UK, Nigel Farage in particular, to see where his money is coming from. I've mentioned before, politicians should only have one job. They should not be receiving money from outside. They should not have another job on the side. So an investigation needs to be carried out immediately into political parties in Europe and in the UK who are receiving money from outside. Because while Donald Trump doesn't need to give money to Nigel Farage, all he needs to do is give him support. This is corrupting democracy. And it's creating a situation where Donald Trump or a future US president, maybe JD Vance or someone, would have friends in Europe who, of course, would be on his side, who would not stand up for their democracies, not stand up for their own people, but would stand up for JD Vance or whoever the US president is. It's great that this was called out. I was not aware of this, but I'm not surprised. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to click like, subscribe, and ring the bell in order to stay in the loop for future videos. Now, you can also support the channel financially by clicking on the links below to Patreon, becoming a member, and of course, sending me a coffee. And all of those are greatly appreciated, but of course, only if you're able to. Remember, I stream twice a week on Tuesday and Friday nights, and I hope to see you on the streams as well. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.